Hello everyone, this is Razorflame-kun, and today I'm going to be bringing you our next run, which is Pound de Pawn. It is going to be easy to super hard, which is basically the same thing as the Tetris Attack run a few days ago. The two players that we're going to be playing, are going to be Syuga, or syuga218 on Twitch, and FFR Pro 21. They hold the two top times in this category. Syuga with a 28.4x and FFR Pro 21 with a 30xx. So they're within 2 minutes of each other. To start things off, we're going to be starting on easy, and we're going to be going all the way through normal, hard, and super hard in that order. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be explaining to you along the way, and hopefully you guys are able to keep up. We're going to be starting shortly, so hope you enjoy. All right. Let me just move a few things around here. All right. So, whenever this starts, we will go ahead. Okay, here we go. So, Panel de Pawn is like Tetris Attack, only with fairies. That's the only difference. If you've not played a game before, a puzzle attack game like this before, you'll see that the object of each stage is to fill your opponent's screen with trash, and up to the top of the screen, and then top them out like FFR Pro 21 did immediately in 13 seconds. You do that by doing chains and combos. Chains are going to be the green X numbers, and the red numbers are going to be combos, which are done when you match more than 3 panels together. The best thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you get, on easy, that you get 6 to 7 lines of garbage as soon as possible on your opponent's side of the screen, because on easy they are very, very slow. So, in terms, so that's just, and you're looking for times between 10 and 15 seconds for each of these fights. On this difficulty, we go through the 10th stage. There are 12 stages altogether. And when further we get into the game, the more stages will be added. In terms of the way that the CPU acts, for the most part, the same in both versions, except for the last few stages on the last difficulty, which I will get to later on down the road. So we're already on to stage 4 on FFR Pro's side, and Syuga is not that far behind. So, like I said, you are also looking for the opponent not to clear, like what happened on FFR Pro's side and Syuga's side. You do not want that to happen because that delays their death. Because if anything is clearing, or they're making chains, or they're doing garbage clearing, or they're clearing stuff in general, that elongates the time that they're alive. And in all difficulties, you want to minimize the time they're alive by getting a lot of chains with combos in it. So, as you've noticed, both of the players are doing chains with combos in them, because that helps add to the amount of garbage that is added to the side, to your opponent's side, and that is how you're getting all the lines of garbage this quickly. So in terms of in terms of strategy, it's really going to get. It's really just going to get more complicated from here on to have the opponent not clear. All of the puzzle games in general have a lot of RNG, and you're going to be seeing a lot of that RNG in this run. Syuga has actually pulled ahead of FFR Pro a little bit, and there's another unfortunate clear on FFR Pro's side. But he's another unfortunate clear on FFR Pro's side as well, which has helped Syuga pull ahead. Now, Syuga is from Japan, and FFR Pro is from Canada. So, Syuga probably won't be able to do an interview afterwards, but I'll try and get an interview from FFR Pro for you guys after the race. But as we can see, the times are just really, really good so far, and you're seeing so many stuff that's happening so fast that I'm not really able to comment on everything going on. Which unfortunately no one else was available to help commentate this run, so you're stuck with me. But as you can see, Syuga is just getting the right strategy and having everything go right on his side of the screen, while FFR Pro's been making a few mistakes here and there. Nah, Wolfman is fine. Thanks for offering, though. So one thing that I need to explain is stop time. What stop time is stop time is the amount of time you have after you make a chain or combo that is added, added to the time that you get at the top of the screen afterwards. So stop time when you make a 4 combo or any chain, it increases, and you have to wait for that to run out before you can continue. Before your opponent is able to die, basically. So that's one important thing. And you also get a grace period at the top. You also get a grace period at the top of the screen of a second or two before the opponent dies as well. So you have to battle both of those facts. Right there, that was really nice play by Syuga, but unfortunately Dragon got the clear before he was able to run out of stop time. But all that stuff at the top of the screen is going to he's going to eventually run out of stuff to work with, because stuff in they move slowly. The CPUs move very slowly in this difficulty. So Syuga is done with the first difficulty, and he's going to be they are going to be moving on to the second difficulty, which is normal. And FFR Pro finishes just behind, so we're on an even race right now. Yep. We're only on easy, and we are going to be... so on normal, you're going to be doing the same thing, except you're going to be looking for a 4 or 5 chain, plus additional... so you're looking for like 7 to 8 to 9 lines of garbage, because the opponent's cursor speed starts to improve here, and they also start to get a bit smarter in this difficulty. Overall, in terms of difficulty, this game is harder than Tetris Attack. Justin, there is actually a major difference in the later difficulty, which I will, the last difficulty, which I will get into later on. But otherwise, it's mostly cosmetic, and the story is different. One thing you want to make sure is that you don't give your opponent too large of a chain, because if you give them too large of a chain, when the garbage block drops, it gives them shake time, which also has to be depleted before your opponent dies. And the larger the garbage block, the more shake time is generated from that garbage block. So There's also a lot of other things I could explain, like all the like lag chains and all the other stuff that you're seeing. But I'm just going to let it speak for itself. I can explain lag chains for you really quick. Lag chain is when you start one chain and then you wait a little bit and then you start another chain within a certain period of time, and you're essentially working with two live chains at once. And you can also see that both players, in this difficulty, you also want to be constantly aware of the garbage on your opponent's side of the screen, and on your opponent's side of the screen in general. Because if they're really high up, you can do less you can send less garbage their way and still finish the round. And if it's a lot lower, then you have to send more lines of garbage. So it's you constantly want to, out of your peripheral, be able to keep an eye on your opponent's side of the screen. Anyways, as this race has been going on, we're seeing not that much of a difference. The difference is not very. It's like maybe 10 or 20 seconds, if that. But you're just seeing these really fast times. Like I said, both of these players are the top two players of this game in on this particular game. One other thing to mention is that this game only came out in Japan. So this is a Super Famicom exclusive. So, and I know for a fact both players are playing on actual hardware. So right now we're on Flare. And yeah. You might notice a bit of a difference here. There a bit of a difference in the way that the opponents are reacting. They're starting to downstack a lot, which is when they're moving their stack. They're moving the panels down so that the downstack so that they are reducing the size of their stack, like you see on the side there. In terms of where the race is, Syuga is ahead by about 20 to 30 seconds, or about a full stage now. That was Neris. Now we're against Celine on stage 8. This difficulty goes to stage 11 or Thanatos. So basically, you're just seeing great play from here. All of the play here is just great. I also want to just say that we just hit 10,000 viewers, and I just want to thank everyone in the chat for making that possible. So thank you, chat. If you, in terms of other things I can talk about, you're seeing a lot of advanced technique. There are other advanced techniques that I can explain. One is these opponents might catch a panel out of mid-air. That is frame perfect, and this game runs at I believe just under 60 frames per second. So it is literally just about. So it's literally just about 1/60 of a second that you have to work with. Now we're into the Cave of Wickedness. It's called something else in the Japanese version. I don't know what it's called. First of all, you fight as Phoenix, next is Dragon, then Thanatos, and then Cordelia. So, and this is also where the difficulty starts to ramp up. Normal is by no means an easy difficulty to play. Even though these players are making it look easy, it's not easy still. Syuga with these incredible times. You're looking for 10 to 15 second times again, and you're hoping to not get clears. That's pretty much how this category works. Shuzo, this is Panel de Pawn, not Tetris Attack. So this is Thanatos on the right-hand side here. And Syuga is continuing to maintain that lead. Like I said before, you're looking for a lot of chains. You're looking for large chains with a lot of combos in, and that's how you defeat your opponents quickly. It looks exactly like Tetris Attack, but it's not exactly like Tetris Attack. It is different than Tetris Attack. Story is different too. Okay, so now on Syuga's side, Syuga is now starting hard, which is where the game's RNG really starts to ramp up. This game in general is RNG heck. Especially on the later difficulties, you're just hoping for the opponent not to clear. On hard, you're looking to get 5-6 chain with a couple of combos mixed in. So you're looking for roughly 8 to 10 lines of garbage. This event is happening live. The gameplay is not different. So, Syuga is now 2 stages ahead of FFR Pro. Here's hoping that FFR Pro is able to catch up. One thing you notice there is that Syuga stopped his chain early. If you notice that your opponent's stack is very high, you want to stop your chain earlier than usual, so that you can take advantage of that higher stack, and so you need less garbage in order to finish off the opponent. One thing you'll notice is that in this game, the opponents really like to focus on combos. It's just their thing on this. So now we are Syuga still has a 2-stage lead. He's been keeping up the pressure. FFR Pro is going to have a hard time coming back from this, but the real difference maker is going to be super hard, which we'll be seeing very shortly. Unfortunately, their FFR Pro did drop his chain, which is very unfortunate, and that's going to cost him some time, especially with that clear immediately afterwards. Meanwhile, Syuga finishes off Ruby, while Sherbet is being played. Just got defeated by FFR Pro. We're now on Elias's stage on Syuga's side. Yes, it is purely a reskin and a different story. Syuga got really lucky there on Elias's stage with that, with the board vision to be able to add that next chain up there. And FFR Pro is still throwing out these times as well. 13 seconds is amazing on this difficulty. On this difficulty, I tend to look for 15 to 20 second times, where you're still looking for 10 to 15 second times on if you're a top player. 11 seconds is just insane. So, in terms of where we are, I would say we are about 30 to 40 seconds ahead on Syuga's side. Maybe more. Meanwhile, FFR Pro is just starting Elias, and Syuga is just rolling through all these stages. Just beat Naris very, very quickly. Justin Bailey. It's not similar to any of those games. This is a completely different game series than Puyo Puyo. So, we saw a 7 chain there, which is something you don't want to do, because it gives your opponent a lot more shake time. But it was still good enough to be able to finish that stage. Unfortunately, there's that downstacking on that opponent on FFR Pro's side. He wasn't able to send enough garbage at the right period of time in order to finish off the opponent quickly. The whole name of this game is to finish opponents off quickly, and you're really starting to see the RNG of this game really rear its ugly head. This game just really has a lot of RNG. Anyways, these opponents are known for making Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 and Tier 2 clears, which are, if you have two garbage blocks sandwiched between each other, and you have panels between them, and the opponent clears in between those two, that's called a Tier 1. If there's one of those and then another one on top of that, and they clear on the second tier, that's called a second tier clear. And you might be seeing this a lot as well. In terms of strategy, there is a lot of strategy that goes into this game. Dragon is again a pretty tough customer if you let him get going, and these players are just too good to not be able to let them get too far ahead. Anyways, this stage goes all the way through to Cordelia, who is the 12th opponent. We have Thanatos and on Syuga side, and FFR Pro is on Phoenix. We're just seeing absolutely amazing play from Syuga there, getting that 6 chain with all those combos, enough to just be able to defeat Thanatos just like that. There is no randomizer for this game because this game is already randomized. Everything about it is random except for the order of the opponent you face. Anyways, this is Cordelia, and this is Cordelia's theme, which is not heard in Tetris Attack. So I'm going to be quiet and let you hear it. So this is that was Cordelia's theme, and you can see how much of a pain Cordelia can be in this difficulty. Yes, it is, G Mario. It is heard right before that. But now we're going on to Super Hard. To unlock Super Hard, the players must hold L up on the stage select screen while hovering over Hard, and then press the A button. That way, when you get the red background, you know you've done it correctly, and even though it says hard, you're on Super Hard now. Super Hard really ups difficulty. By the opponent's going to start off fairly slow, but they're going to start getting faster and faster as we go on, and this is where the serious part of this difficulty really starts to happen. As you can see already, these are already things are already hard. You can already notice the differences in the difficulties here. Anyways, another thing you're going to notice is that they're going to start to focus on other things instead of combos until the very end of this difficulty, where they're, instead of chains like in Tetris Attack, they're going to focus on combos. Like I said, this is the difficulty that really makes or breaks your PB. it really makes or breaks your PB. If you do, you have to get almost perfect luck to get good times on these stages, and because these stages are that hard. Anyways, now we're on Fiana's stage. On Syuga's side, Syuga is 3 stages ahead now, which is about 1 minute and 15 seconds or so. And we're just seeing these leg chains and everything from Syuga, which just shows what a great player he is. And that 15-second time is absolutely amazing. The game is called Panel de Pon. Both players are now on super hard, and both players are having fairly decent luck. Knock on wood. But you're seeing just the level of play by Syuga. He's just getting absolutely insane luck with an 11-second clear. 11 seconds is absolutely insane on this. That is absolutely insane on this difficulty. Starting stage 5 is Syuga. FFR Pro's on stage 2. And we're just seeing these leg chains from Syuga like it's nothing. If you want, this game is just really fun to watch high-level players play. We did see an unfortunate clear, and then another unfortunate clear on Syuga's side, which is going to let FFR Pro catch up a bit. Actually, no players have unless you mean sub 20 seconds on a stage, then yes, you're correct. Sub 20 on a stage is very good. What you're really looking for on this stage is 15 to 20 second times. But like the other difficulties, the opponents, the racers are still looking for up to down to 10 to 50 second times. Anyways, this is a first difficulty increase in this difficulty. There are difficulty spikes in this difficulty on stage 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you'll notice that this player is going to start. Is just going to start going faster, and is going to start to actually be able to clear more and increase a lot of the RNG in this run. Syuga is still maintaining the 7-stage lead that he has, and is just setting up these chains like they're nothing. Just try the 2-frame trick there to get corner grab, which would extend the chain by 1. But he just has amazing board awareness, and meanwhile, FFR Pro himself is no slouch either. He is still one of the best Puzzle League players in the world, and this just goes to show how insane the skill ceiling on these games are. He's playing very well, and he's still struggling to keep up with Syuga. Meanwhile, on Syuga's side of the screen, Syuga actually had a really bad stage with 50-second time. That's not a time you want to get. Meanwhile, FFR Pro's catching up. He's caught up and is now down to 2-stage. It's now down to a 2-stage lead. Anyways, Celine is the second. Is going to be the second difficulty increase of this difficulty. As you notice, her cursor is moving a lot faster than the previous opponents. But the strategy remains the same. Get a 4, 5, 6 chain with combos in every single segment and hope they don't clear. But that was really good by Syuga. But you can see, even with that, Celine almost cleared still. Anyways, we are now into the Cave of Wickedness on this version on Phoenix. And this is where you're going to start to notice a change in the AI, where they're going to favor combos over everything else. That's all they're going to focus on is combos. They're not even going to focus on clearing their garbage. They're also going to focus on raising as well, which you can use to your advantage to really, really finish your opponents off quickly. unfortunately, this is also the next difficulty increase, where you can see that the opponent is just starting to go ham. And this is really where this difficulty starts to pick up really hardcore in its, on this difficulty. The opponents just really start to increase in their difficulty. Jay Halem, this is... you have it backwards. This is the original. Tetris Attack is the knockoff. Anyways, we are now on to Dragon, and as you can see, we're just increasing the cursor speed of the opponents more and more. And on FFR Pro side, you just saw that really amazing 6 chain there. And meanwhile, on Syuga's side, Syuga gets a very bad clear, and FFR Pro gets a very bad clear as well. And the continuation of the clear, not good for Syuga. And down stacking it into another clear. It's just insane. Syuga has been dropping some time here, and is allowing FFR Pro to catch up, but FFR Pro has also been getting pretty bad luck as well. Anyways, we're now on to Thanatos on Syuga's side, and this is where another difficulty increase is. Again, you're gonna just see the cursor speed increase as well. And let us see how these two players finish out this race. Win up, Tetris Attack is actually easier than this game. This game is harder than Tetris Attack by a fairly good margin. But now we're back to Cordelia, and this is the fight of... This is where I'm just going to say, watch Cordelia's cursor speed and ask me if you think it's fair. Just ask me if you think this cursor speed is fair. So this will be on Syuga's side, on the right-hand side. Just watch the cursor speed and let me know if you think it's fair. Insta-clear on that side. That's not good on Syuga's side. And... oh, they got the force kill on Syuga, got the force kill. GG's, Syuga. GG's. That was an excellent finish. But let us go ahead and move over. I unfortunately don't know how to move the audio over to FFR Pro's side. But FFR Pro is going to be finishing off, and let us cheer him on while he finishes off the last few stages as well. So there's lots of unfortunate... yeah, there's just a lot of unfortunate clears happening there. And he's getting really unlucky here. All these clears by the opponents. 115. He's getting so unlucky. Anyways, he went ahead and was able to finish off Dragon, and now we are heading on to Thanatos. Let's see if he's able to finish up in style with some nice times on the last 2 stages. So those that might notice, this is actually Bowser's theme from Tetris Attack. Or Thanatos' team in this game. Ends up dropping the chain there, which is early. But let's hope that he's able to get some... oh, wasn't quite able to get that chain extension there, but this should be good enough. Nope. Thanatos just says nope and gets the clear. But there we go. Thanatos is down, and now we're on to Cordelia, who, like I said, can troll pretty hard if you're unlucky. Knock on wood. Let's just hope that FFR Pro is able to finish off with a pretty fast time on Cordelia. There, Cordelia is going all in on the combos like she's known for. On this stage, I just choose to go all out and get a massive chain. And it seems that's the way, and nice force kill by FFR Pro, 25 seconds. GG's from FFR Pro, and he was able to finish very quickly. Great game and good race from both players. So Syuga finished just under 31 minutes, and unfortunately FFR Pro finished at 33:42. But this just goes to show how this is able to, this game is really inconsistent in times. Your times can vary wildly. They vary really wildly. But I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get FFR Pro in here for a post-race interview. If someone's able to do that really quick. Thank you. Okay, no time, unfortunately, so just went ahead and link those. If you want to watch, if you want to follow them, go ahead. And if you want to watch them, go ahead. Anyways, just if you want to learn how to play this game, we do accept emulator runs for this. Only certain emulators, so make sure you read the rules. And then if you want to go to Puzzle General's Discord, you can go ahead and ask any of us there, and we will be able to help you out. So I hope you enjoyed, and the next run is going to be an Aladdin race by LaHulk, Julian RX, and I think a few other people. Let me check real quick. Calarace and Joe D'Amelio. I will get that Discord link for you shortly, once we are all done. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. This has been Razorlame-kun, and thanks again for the runners Syuga and FFR Pro 21 for racing. Up next, we have Aladdin.